Mr. Trump called for a total ban of Muslims entering the USA. He believes most Americans would support that prohibition and says we have to do it to protect ourselves against the jihad. Almost immediately, hysteria broke out.
I think Donald Trump's overreaction is as dangerous as President Obama's underreaction.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. And you know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell.
Where's the GOP been? I mean, this started with him saying, Mexicans were rapists and murderers. Right. Where the hell has everybody been?
Now, let's examine this without emotion or agenda. Okay? Both can cloud thinking. The federal courts would never allow the government to deny anyone entry solely on the basis of religion. So the whole discussion is really moot. Good night, everyone. As with revoking the citizenship of so-called anchor babies, a ban on Muslims traveling to the USA will never happen. However, the feds do have an obligation to deny visas to anyone who might cause harm to the country. Thus, people living in countries where jihad and terrorism are rife can and should be scrutinized, with the burden of proof being put upon those who want to come here. Homeland Security should deny visas to any questionable person, period. But a complete ban of Muslims would actually hurt the war on terror. Here's the crux of the matter, which I will discuss with Mr. Trump here tomorrow on The Factor. The U.S. and other Western nations need moderate Muslim countries to fight the jihadists. The West can't defeat the jihad without the help of Jordan, Egypt, to some extent Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and the rest of the Gulf states. We need them to cooperate with us militarily and with intel. By saying all Muslims can't come to the USA, that means the King of Jordan can't come. So, it is simply bad anti-terror policy to overreact and prohibit Muslims, even if you could, which you can't. It is long past time for Americans to see the jihad for what it is, a movement that seeks to destroy Western civilization. Someone tell President Obama. But the majority of Muslims do not support jihad, and some will actually fight against it. Those people should be applauded, not demonized. But, and here's where Donald Trump is correct, the Obama administration is losing the fight against ISIS, as Talking Points clearly said last night. Political correctness and weakness, rank weakness, now dominate Washington. Many of our politicians are afraid to confront evil. I'm talking to you, Democratic Party. We, the people, must rise up and demand to be protected, demand that the war be waged against the jihad in a smart and aggressive way. With the presidential election next year, it is now on us to elect a new leader who has the guts and the intelligence to fight Islamic terrorism and defeat it. Believe me, this is 1938 all over again. And that's the memo. Now for the top story. Reaction joining us from Los Angeles, Aaron Cohen, counterterrorist specialist. And from Washington, Jim Hansen from the Center for Security Policy. Mr. Hansen, we'll begin with you. Very specifically, what should America do to defeat the jihad?
Well, Bill, I think you nailed it in your Talking Points memo. The first thing we should do is stop importing jihadis. There are some countries where we cannot vet the people from, and until the president can present a plan to do that, we should stop only in the specific places where the terrorists are coming from.
All right, name those places. Name those places.
You named them. It was Iraq, Syria, Pakistan, Yemen, the places we already know. And the Immigration's Customs Service has a list of countries that they tag for special scrutiny.
All right, now let me stop you there. So you would say that Donald Trump is partially right in the sense that Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Iran, you can't do it with Pakistan because we just have too much commerce back and forth with Pakistan. But those four before Pakistan, you say temporarily no visas issued unless it's a special circumstance. Is that what you're saying?
I think that's a fair way to do it. We need to take a pause. This is not a prohibition, but let's take a pause and let's figure out how we can vet these people properly. The FBI director has said we can't, and until he's satisfied and the American people are satisfied, we should not.
All right. What say you, Mr. Cohen?
I want to get a little more tactical with my approach to ISIS. I believe that we need to go, number one is go on the immediate offensive with a multinational, 50,000 strong anti-ISIS urban assault force designated to completely eradicate what our intelligence reports is approximately 31,000 armed ISIS fighters occupying parts of Iraq and Syria.
Okay, let me stop you there. Wait. Don't get to number two too fast. We got a good long segment with both of you. Would that include NATO? See, today NATO's commander said, oh, we're not going to do it, which is, you know, ridiculous. Would that include NATO in alliance with some Muslim nations, Arab nations? Is that your vision?
Absolutely. Jordan is an integral part of the overall anti-terror macro strategy. King Abdullah hosts American and national special operations units once a year. It is special operations, $200 million training facility. Absolutely.
It's a melding of NATO, which has got to grow some, and some Arab nations who want to sign on to defeat ISIS. All right, what's number two? Go ahead.
Number two for me would be the immediate workup and deployment bill of a 3,000-strong Green Beret-style special operations instructors program. We need to immediately bolster what's referred to as foreign internal defense. Mr. Hansen can tell you, I'm sure, a lot about that, being a former Green Beret. Those instructors will act as force multipliers and, if need be, operate alongside those instructors or those students that are being trained.
The 3,000 that Mr. Cohen is proposing, Mr. Hansen, would be the first wave in to organize the people who are already there. And then as NATO, you know, it's going to take them a while, gets their force together in combination with the Arab countries, that's the crusher that comes in and wipes them out. Do you concur with Mr. Cohen, Mr. Hansen?
Absolutely. I think Aaron is spot on. And I think the first thing my friends who are still in the fight at CENTCOM tell me, the number one thing we could do is change the rules of engagement and let slip the U.S. dogs of war. We know where these guys are, and we can hit them. There should be special operation raids every night in ISIS's back territories to keep them off balance. They
that
should
means
never know where
big-time
the
U.S.
next
casualties, though, and President Obama doesn't want that. But look, let's face it, it's going to come to that, and the president's only in office for one more year. Mr. Cohen, you heard Donald Trump say no more Muslims in here. What was your first gut reaction to that?
My first reaction is that Donald is a PR master. He knows how to sway whatever's happening in the news to be able to make himself relevant. He's been doing it for a while. Started off with his reality show back with Omarosa. However, having said that, you cannot bar all Muslims from coming into this country. I'm speaking as a Jew right now. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Israel doesn't ban Muslims coming into Israel, right?
No, we certainly do not. In fact, we have 1 million Arabs who live in Israel. We work with the Druze. They serve in our defense force. The commander of our Golani elite infantry brigade is a Druze. He is an Arab. So we cannot alienate the Muslims. Number two, we're just going to create a more vicious cycle of anti-Semitism in this country, which is not going to help anyone. And number three, you just can't stop based on religion, race. Like you said in your opening statement, it's absolutely ridiculous. We can use our intelligence services to go after the visa screening process intellectually.
Yeah, we can, but it's going to take some time to do it. Now, I just want to tell the listeners, when you say anti-Semitism, you're including anti-Arab sentiment and not just Jewish. All right, Mr. Hansen, when you heard Donald Trump say that last night in South Carolina, what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Counterproductive. For all the reasons that have already been mentioned. We do need allies, we do need other folks, and it unfocuses us from the actual mission. There is a subset of Muslims who are the problem. They're the jihadists, they're the Sharia adherent ones. We know who they are, we know how to find them, and we need to take them down, starting with the caliphate they established in Iraq and Syria that is now intercontinental in nature. So taking that out will stop recruitment, will stop them from being a rallying place and the strong horse in this fight. We need to knock them off their high horse.
Yeah, just like they did with Al-Qaeda, you scattered them into the mountains of Pakistan, and they no longer had a command and control where they could do these operations. So you have to do the same thing with ISIS. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to talk with you guys, and we're going to keep Mr. Hansen and Mr. Cohen together. We'll have them on periodically on The Factor because we believe they're honest men who know what they're talking about. This evening's Talking Points memo last night in South Carolina.